Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently attacking Kiva, and that will be absolutely wonderful. What's less wonderful is our income levels, but we're working on that. We need to build government administrations, and that's kind of our top priority right now as far as our income goes. So we're working on that. We're also working on some iron mines in Samara. What else do we have in our private construction queue here? Wheat farms, textile mills, tooling workshops. Okay, that's all fine for the moment. So these government administrations are really the top priority. Each one of these is going to produce how much bureaucracy? 100 bureaucracy per level. So we know that we need at least 6 for right now to get us bureaucracy positive. So we'll get those queued up like so. The rest of them are less important. They're still important to build, but they're significantly less important. So let's cruise on through here and we'll start taking over Kiva. This battle will eventually occur. The question is when? Is there any indication of when that battle will occur now? There used to be. There probably is somewhere. Okay, logistics has been unlocked. That's cool. So we finished that tech. I kind of want to grab something in society here. What exactly are we going to be looking for? Well, we've got banking here. That would give us minting and minus 2% loan interest rate. How much are we actually getting from minting? 18.1k. I'd kind of like to get a society research here. Plus 10% market access price impact. We don't have all that much market access issues, although the locations where we do have market access issues, both of these are gold developers. So maybe stock exchange would be the way to go here. That would also give us access to protectionism, which would be pretty interesting for sure. Free trade as well. Okay, we'll grab stock exchange for now. So that'll be 32 months until that finishes, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about that. We'll just get that going for the time being. I would definitely like to get our economic system moved off of traditionalism, but this isn't going to directly do that. That'll move our trade policy off of mercantilism and onto protectionism or free trade. I'm not sure which of these we're actually going to want. Nobody wants either of them right now. We'll see if that changes. So the question then becomes, is this just in the wrong strategic objective location? Do we need to have this be our strategic objective in order to trigger a battle to occur here? Is there a battle occurring right now? Actually, yes, we do see that there are a fair amount of dead and wounded on each side. But this is, I think, just skirmishing. This is the active front, but there isn't an active battle occurring here. And we need to attempt to force a decisive battle. I'm not too interested in mobilizing additional forces at this time, so we'll just leave this be. And for the moment, we can see they are losing quite a lot of war support due to exhaustion. They can't be reduced below 0 right now because we will need to actively invade them. And that hasn't happened just yet. But that's okay for now. So our government administrations are progressing. It's going to take some time to get those done, but we are seeing our balance improving. We're going to have to get this credit dealt with. France wants a trade agreement. I'm going to accept that, even though that's going to harm our income here. We also see do a promotion over here. You know what? This guy's probably fine. And plus 50% radicals from discrimination and Azerbaijani pops would become more radical. No, we'll take the loyalists. Thank you very much. That'll be fine. We're kind of, I guess, moving towards egalitarianism in that case. I don't know. We'll see how that ends up going. So we've not seen a battle break out over here. That's for sure. The manpower is definitely being lost. We are taking more losses than they are. By a factor of about 2. And we're putting a lot more resources into this war as well. I really want to force a battle. The question is, how exactly do we do that? These guys are fully mobilized. I think... So previously, when we set a strategic objective, it happened. That said... Yeah, I think there's just skirmishing going on right now. Our organization is at 25, which is 25 out of 100. So due to low organization, he's suffering the following effects. Minus 25% offense, minus 10% defense, minus 100% morale recovery, and minus 50% recovery rate. So why is his organization low? That is something we should figure out. We're allowing borrowing and lending troops. That's all reasonably fine. Okay, so daily organization gain minus 50% from low command limit. 45 out of 0. Is this because we have no commander here? You know, that might have something to do with it. That definitely might. So we could recruit, say, this guy. And that puts us at 45 out of 30. Now we can put a second commander in. Like, say, this guy. That puts us at 45 out of 60. Now our maximum is 100% organization. Okay, this looks significantly better. So having leadership helps. That's something that should be fairly obvious. And now a battle has started up. Perfect. This is what we want to see then. So I think our organization was just too low because we had no leadership. Fair enough on that front, to be honest. So this is at 45 out of 200. So this general has a command limit of 200 because he's a field marshal. So presumably we could have gotten away with only having one general here by promoting Alexei Ivalich here. Presumably. We are going to win this battle, and that is of course expected. And that starts to give us a fair amount of occupation here, and we see a second battle immediately start up. So lesson learned, if we're not seeing any progress, check leadership. Good to know. So that's absolutely great. And we did have leadership up here previously as well, so that is why we saw those battles occurring. That all looks good for the time being. Empiricism has been unlocked. That gives us access to education institution investment, and we might want to look into getting... Well, we need laws for that, I think. And we don't really have the ability to change any of these right now other than, say, serfdom. Ooh. This is not very popular. But I really want to get us off of serfdom. Let's see how this goes. The gentry are going to be unhappy. That's understood. But I really want to get us off of serfdom. That's a very big deal. So that would be phenomenal. So let's get that done. And from there, our bureaucracy is improving. It's not perfect yet. And it'll take time to get some jobs in... Are these all going to be over in Astrakhan? Yeah, we're probably going to lack workforce over here. That's understood. That's reasonably fine. Lathes have been unlocked. Okay. So that's all great. We do have access to some additional production methods, and dye workshops would be wonderful. Lathes would be good. Do we want to... Hang on. We want to be on ceramics here. Leaded glass? Okay. Lead is potentially going to be a shortage. We'll keep an eye on that. What else do we have going on here for production methods? Any additional production methods? Not at this time. Okay. So that's fine. We are pushing through over here. As expected, a lead input goods shortage. So I do want to go into our lead mines here, and we have a fair number of job seekers over here, but what are our earnings like? Okay, plenty of job seekers. That's fine. I'm going to queue up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these for the moment. I do want to move these government administrations up and get them done kind of first. I'm going to alter the order of this ever so slightly, though, and just do something like that. Cool. So that'll be fine. Knowledge of intensive agriculture is spreading to us. Okay. And this low organization here probably is... Why would this organization be low? That's interesting. We're not seeing a command limit issue in this one. Oh, we just have not enough infantry. Okay, that's probably what it is, to be honest. Not enough infantry would make a lot of sense. We have purely artillery and cavalry there right now. Okay, so this war is functionally over at this point. Are they willing to accept our terms? Not yet. They're very close. They're going to have their war support drop very quickly. 17.2. Okay, so next week, we expect this to be a thing. Beautiful. We'll propose that peace deal. And this territory is now ours. Fantastic. So it's currently 1840. We know our truce with Latvia is going to be up eventually. I think it's next year. 1 January 1841. So we have 5 months left. How are we doing on our infamy? 11.4 right now. That's not too bad. We could think about attacking, say, Bukhara here. And that would be 17.5 infamy. We may want to just push directly into this. So let's get going on that. We are going to need to reset production methods in these states. There we go. We'll just align those production methods. We're also going to want to start incorporating these states. So that's going to be fairly expensive on the bureaucracy. That is understood. But we're going to get those going. And I do want to send... we could send these guys out. So they would head on over to this front here. Okay, and we can then set our strategic objective to be Bukhara. Hello, pause menu. Cool. So that'll be reasonably fine for right now. We do need to continue to work through these lead mines and government administrations. The government administrations are going to be a little bit more relevant at this point. So I'm going to move up a couple more government administrations, and I'm just going to intersperse government administrations with these other constructions. So we're just going to have it be something kind of like this. We do need to get our government administrations under control, otherwise we're going to be bankrupt eventually. So that is definitely a concern. We hit a stall here. I think we're best off getting the rural folk approval negative here. But I don't like that stall. What are our odds here? Okay, we're just hoping for debates at this point. Sure. It's going to be a little tough. We knew that this wasn't going to be an easy thing to pass, but we're very interested in getting it passed. What is... I clicked on that and it disappeared. Okay. Sure. Ottoman Empire started a diplomatic play against Egypt. That's absolutely fine for the time being. Austria has sided with France. They are currently busy. The Egyptian-Ottoman crisis has occurred. Okay. We're going to get a declared interest in Arabia here, but we're not going to otherwise interfere for right now. So there is a political movement to preserve serfdom with critical radicalism. So unfortunately, that means we're not in a position to get homesteading. Maybe we could go down to tenant farmers and work our way this way. We'll try it. At the very least, I want to get off of serfdom. This started a revolution to preserve serfdom. Never mind. Okay, we'll come back to this. Cool. So for now, we're not interested in that. We will get there. Belarus is offering us their support. No, we're not going to transfer a subject to you, Belarus. Get out of here. So we're going to be launching this war quite soon here. This diplomatic play, the French rebellion over here, is interesting. That does mean that I think it's very unlikely that anyone decides to interfere in this, but I think it's very unlikely that anyone decides to interfere in it anyway. So that's all good. We're going to finish up a lead mine and a government administration quite soon. So that all looks good. We want to work up our institutions a bit, but with our negative bureaucracy, that's of course going to be a bit of a problem. But there's a lead mine and a government administration finishing up. That alone will help a lot. Cool. Unfortunately, these government administrations are kind of being built in places... Why can't I middle mouse scroll? That's weird. Okay, the war with Bukhara has broken out. Apparently, I have to Wazda now. That is bizarre. Wait. Now it's working. Oh, okay. I think this is this might be my mouse having issues. The wheel is working fine. I was able to middle mouse scroll for a moment there. Okay. That's exciting. I might have to look into that. Middle mouse scrolling is kind of a big deal in this game. Wait. Okay. Aha. It seems to be that I can do it just fine now. Okay, well, I'll definitely have to look into that. We're fighting this battle here. That's fine. We do win it, and we expect to take over Bukhara very easily here. We expect there to be very, very few issues at this time. I don't know if that was my mouse or if that was the game, because it now seems to be working most of the time. I'm guessing this is a mouse issue. Might need to get a new mouse. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I just need to clean it. That is a possibility. So for right now, we're just going to continue and take Bukhara. The war's over already. Bukhara is already done. They just don't know it yet. So that is absolutely fine for the moment. We do need to continue to get these government administrations built. These are currently being built in Tomsk, and the workforce here is basically nil. So we probably want to move these down a bit and build these in locations where there are workforce. So there's 25k employees here right now. I want to go over to Kazan and see what the actual unemployment is here. 49k. So that's reasonably fine. We can definitely bring some of these up and get some of that employment going. But some of these have very, very low unemployment numbers, and so that is a little bit concerning. No doubt about that. So these guys are going to be willing to exit this war very, very soon here. Their war support is dropping very rapidly. And that is great. So we're just going to continue to take over areas here. Oh, they are demanding that from us. Okay, I gotcha. I was confused there for a moment. But they'll accept this very soon. Beautiful. So our government is currently illegitimate. Is that because the Gentry Assembly exited the government? Okay, so what we should do now is probably just we could bring them back in like this, or we could just go to a righteous government like this. This would be 99, and the loyalists and radicalisms would be not nearly as bad. If we did this, though, it would be better, and we'd still be a righteous government. I'm going to confirm that for now. We'll lose a few loyalists, and our radicalism is fairly high right now, especially in this area. That's unsurprising. Unsurprising indeed. So we're going to get this conquered very soon. In fact, they would accept this peace deal now. There we go. So this territory is now ours. We're going to incorporate this state. There we go. We definitely need to deal with this bureaucracy issue, but I kind of want to keep expanding at the same time. But bureaucracy does need to get dealt with. Generals and admirals cost bureaucracy now. That's interesting. That's good to know. No doubt about it. But mostly, it's our institutions. We could just cancel changing law enforcement to level 2, and that'll cut this in half, our bureaucracy deficit. So that's pretty decent. I think at this point, we should probably just work on getting our bureaucracy up without expanding further. We can declare in these areas, and that's okay, but we do have a fair amount of infamy at this point. We might want to just chill a bit and let our infamy drop, while at the same time working on our bureaucracy and on our financial issues. I think that does make sense. So for right now, that is going to be the goal. I'm noticing that we no longer have a lead input goods shortage. It's probably still expensive, but I'm going to cancel these 2 lead mines that haven't been started yet. Actually, it's not expensive, so we don't need to continue to work on those 2 lead mines. We can work on these government administrations instead. We can also increase the priority on our military shipyard, artillery foundry, and paper mill. Maybe in the opposite order. If we're not planning on fighting for a bit, the artillery foundry and the military shipyard kind of gets lowered in priority, especially the military shipyard. So something along the lines of this. And we're building government administrations, right? So we're going to need a lot of paper mills. So that all seems reasonably fine for right now. We do need to get our bureaucracy turned around, and we're working on that. That is definitely improving. It's not perfect by any means, and just this government administration finishing will help a lot. So that will be great. For right now, we can probably stop harming relations in Latvia and Ukraine. I don't think we need to continue doing this, for the moment anyway. And we obviously do want to start conquering some of these little areas over here. There's a lot of stuff over this way that we want to conquer, no doubt about it. And we'll come this direction when we have things that we want to conquer, but we kind of can't for whatever reason. So that'll all be absolutely okay. We're going to get this paper mill done in 17 weeks, and then this government administration done in another 17 weeks. Well, the same 17 weeks, really. But we've seen our GDP, it's come up somewhat. It's going to have to come up further, no doubt about that. So what do we actually need to be able to annex these? Well, we're still truced with Estonia for right now. We could annex the Grand Duchy of Finland, I think. We'll have to reduce autonomy first, won't we? That's going to be... Okay, that's some infamy. That's very interesting. So we would turn them into a puppet. What are they currently? They are currently a personal union. I see. We probably do want to do this. The question is, oh, they'll accept this. Okay, we're not going to force a diplomatic play then. They're just going to accept that demand. So Finland has been reduced down to a puppet now. So that means eventually we'll be able to annex them, but we are truced with them for a while. We can see that our income is improving. We're down to minus 7K at this point, so that is really solid. And our bureaucracy is getting better. It's not perfect yet, but it is definitely getting better. Here in about 9 weeks, that will improve further. And I just want to bring us around to being positive financially, as well as positive in bureaucracy before we start expanding again. That will likely be for the best. Our radicalism is, I think, mostly coming downward. And loyalist is slowly creeping upward from legitimacy. But there's a lot going on down over here, right? So we know that there's going to be a lot of turmoil over here. That'll go down over time, and once we can get our law enforcement up, that'll help a lot. So for now, that's absolutely fine. We're going to be done with our paper mill and government administration in 2 and 3 weeks, respectively. So very, very close here. In fact, both of them are going to be done next week because we're seeing some carryover from the paper mill. So that's great. Absolutely fantastic, in fact. Russian iron is currently expensive, as is tools, clippers, and paper. Artillery man-o'-wars as well. That is noted. Market access up over here is low. Okay, using 6 of 3 infrastructure. So what we really need here is a railroad, but we can't build those yet. We are lacking the invention of railways. What do we need for that? Let's see, that should be under, I think that's under society, right? Unless they've changed it. It might be different now. Production? It's under production. It always was. That's right. So that would mean atmospheric engine into railways. That's probably something that we want to do. Just getting railways is very important. And then we can go back to military after that, potentially. We'll see how that ends up going. Okay. So, we have the Great Molasses Flood. minus 50% food industry's throughput. So groceries are likely going to become expensive here. But what are you going to do? For now, it is what it is. This government administration is going to be done in 10 weeks. And we know that this bureaucracy number hasn't been improving very quickly. The reason that it hasn't been improving very quickly is because most of these government administrations that we're building are in locations where they're not able to get fully staffed. That's okay. We're going to eventually grow into them. So that's fine for now. Standard of living is holding fairly solid right now. I want to check in, can we get any law changes? Not currently. I would like to work down towards homesteading. It will radicalize the gentry assembly. And how would we want to go about appeasing them first? Well, let's take a quick look at what the gentry assembly are thinking right now. Okay. If we can get them up by about 2, then that's going to be very good. But we would love to reduce their political clout. No doubt about that. But I want to get the gentry assembly's opinion up by about 2 here. So how would we go about doing that? Well, they're traditionalist, they're paternalistic, stratocratic, and patriarchal. Okay. So, would they prefer local police force over dedicated police force? Probably. Yeah, that would give them additional political strength. I don't think we want to actually do this. Well, actually, that would kind of be better for right now. The law enforcement institution investment is a problem. Let's get local police force going here. And that's going to boost up the gentry. And then from there, with that additional opinion, we can use that as political capital to get rid of homesteading and drop their overall political clout. That's the idea here. So we pass local police force temporarily. And then we get the political clout. We pass homesteading. Yeah, there's no radicalism for this at all. That's perfect. So we'll pass homesteading at that point. And then we'll repass dedicated police force. So that'll be absolutely wonderful for now. No problem with that at all. We do see that our income is holding fairly steady right now, and our bureaucracy is improving. So we definitely have costs increasing across the board here, but there's stock exchange done. So that'll give us the ability to go to protectionism or free trade, which will be pretty decent. We're definitely happy with that. Then we're going to be working on atmospheric engine into mechanical tools and railways. So that's predicted to finish in 9 years. We do need to get railways done. Backroom dealings have been exposed here. We'll take a setback. That'll put us up to 51% success chance. That is actually really unfortunate that we hit a stall there. We had a 85% chance. Okay. Sure. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to get some of these government administrations finished. Definitely not all of them, but we're going to get some of them finished up, and we need to get our finances turned around, right? Before we hit our credit limit. That would be a problem. So we're not going to hit our credit limit, hopefully, anytime soon. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kintogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.